Most people grow up believing one thing. You work until 65, retire, and finally start living your life. But here's the truth. Retiring at 65 is one of the biggest financial and lifestyle mistakes you can make today. And no, this isn't because you should work forever. It's because the world has changed and the old retirement model is broken. In this video, we're breaking down why the traditional retirement age is outdated, the science of longevity that exposes major retirement risks, why waiting until 65 could cost you health, money, and quality of life, smarter alternatives like phased retirement, semi retirement, and financial independence, and the real number you should be aiming for instead of 65. So, if you've ever worried you won't retire on time, or worse, retire too late, stay with me. This is the video that might save you from decades of regret. Let's start with a question. Why 65? Why not 55 or 75? The answer goes back to 1889 when Germany introduced the world's first government retirement program, with a retirement age of 70 later dropped to 65. But back then, the average life expectancy was under 50, meaning most people never even lived long enough to retire. The concept of retiring at 65 was designed for a world where people died younger, jobs were physically demanding, and the economy needed older workers to step aside for younger ones. But fast forward to today, life expectancy is much higher. Many jobs aren't physically demanding, and people want meaningful work, not just decades of leisure. Pension systems are strained, healthcare costs are exploding. Yet for some reason, we're still clinging to a retirement age designed 135 years ago. It's basically like trying to run modern software on a computer from 1889. Today, if you're 50 or younger, there's a very real chance you could live into your 90s, maybe even past 100. That means retiring at 65 could leave you with a 30 to 40-year retirement. And here's the problem. Most people aren't financially prepared for that. Healthcare gets expensive. Inflation destroys purchasing power. People underestimate how much time they have left. But the biggest issue, retire too late, and you might spend your healthiest years behind a desk. Imagine this. You work 40 plus years to retire at 65, only to have your energy, mobility, or health start declining immediately after. The tragedy isn't retiring early. The tragedy is retiring so late that you can't enjoy the freedom you work for. Most people don't retire because of money. They retire because of a number on the calendar, 65. That number becomes an identity. I should retire at 65. I must work until 65. 65 is when life begins. But here's the truth. A calendar doesn't know your health, your finances, your goals, or your passions. And treating retirement as a finish line creates three dangerous mindsets. Number one, the I just need to survive until 65 mentality. People essentially put their life on hold for decades. They delay travel, passions, hobbies, time with family, health goals, all for a mythical future date. What if that future never comes? Number two, the I'll be happy when I retire illusion. Research shows happiness often drops right after retirement if it's not intentional. Why? Because purpose disappears, structure disappears, social connection disappears. Retirement isn't automatically a happy ending. It's a new chapter that must be planned intentionally. Number three, the work is suffering myth. Many people work jobs they don't like because they think suffering is required. But in reality, a late career pivot, consulting work, or part time work you enjoy can be more fulfilling and sustainable than grinding until 65. Let's talk numbers because the math is even worse than the psychology. Retirement costs have tripled. Between housing, healthcare, insurance, inflation, and longevity, retirement is now more expensive than ever, and the average person is severely underprepared. The 4% rule doesn't work like it used to. If you retire at 65 and live to 95, the 4% rule might just barely work. But if you retire at 65 and live to 100 or 105, suddenly your safe withdrawal rate may need to be more like 3% or even 2.8%. That means to safely generate $40,000 per year, you need $1.3 to $1.4 million saved. Most people aren't even close. Social Security isn't designed to sustain a long retirement. Social Security was built when the average worker lived only a few years past retirement age. Today, people might collect benefits for 30 plus years. This strains the system and your own financial security. Inflation erodes your buying power dramatically. At 3% inflation over 30 years, $100 becomes $41. Your expenses double. A fixed income cannot keep up. Healthcare costs explode after 65. Even with Medicare, retirees face premiums, deductibles, out-of-pocket treatments, long-term care. Medicare does not cover everything, and long-term care can wipe out a lifetime of savings in 2 to 5 years. Here's something people rarely talk about. The first 2 to 5 years after retirement are some of the highest risk years for mortality. Why? Because going from active to inactive is a shock to the body and mind. Research shows retirees experience increased risk of depression, loss of cognitive stimulation, loss of social connection, faster physical decline. In fact, many people don't struggle financially, they struggle emotionally. They lose routine, purpose, identity, and community. If retirement is a sudden stop instead of a smooth transition, it can be emotionally devastating. People don't dream of lying on a beach for 30 years. They dream of freedom, autonomy, time with loved ones, health, travel, passion projects, doing work they enjoy, and living life on their own schedule. Retirement is not about stopping life, it's about choosing how you live it. The real goal isn't to retire at 65, it's to build freedom long before that. Here are alternatives that actually work in the modern world. Phased retirement. Instead of slamming on the brakes at 65, you gradually reduce work 5 days to 4 days, 4 days to 3 days, then consulting, then part time. You keep purpose and income while gaining time. Mini retirements throughout life. Tim Ferriss popularized this idea and it's genius. Take a mini retirement every few years, a month off, a summer off, a sabbatical, a travel year, a break to learn new skills. Why wait until the end of life to enjoy life? Semi-retirement. Work 10 to 20 hours per week doing something you enjoy. You still earn income, stay active, maintain health, preserve savings, retain purpose. This is one of the most sustainable models of modern retirement. The FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. FIRE is often misunderstood. It's not about never working again, it's about not depending on work. Many FIRE adherents still work, they just choose work they enjoy. Live retirement style now, planning. Instead of waiting, integrate retirement goals into your life today. Travel more often, work remotely, downsizing early, investing in health and fitness, building passive income, and transitioning to more meaningful work. Life shouldn't be something you postpone. Instead of a retirement age, you need a retirement number. It's based on expenses, savings rate, passive income, health, lifestyle goals, flexibility. A better target than 65 is retire when your money plus your health plus your purpose align. For many people, that might be 55, 50, 60, or even 45. The point is not the age, the point is freedom. A better metric. Retire when your investment income covers 50 to 80% of your expenses, and you can fill the gap through part-time or meaningful work. So let's bring it home. Retiring at 65 is a mistake because it's based on a system designed 100 plus years ago. You may lose your healthiest years. You may not be financially protected. Your purpose isn't guaranteed. Your longevity demands flexibility. You deserve freedom long before 65. The truth, the best retirement isn't about age, it's about control. Control over your time, control over your finances, control over how you live. So stop planning your life around 65. Start planning it around freedom. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what age do you want to retire and why? And do you think 65 is outdated? Thanks for watching, and remember, don't wait to live, start now.